While everyone is out chasing the newer homes for rental properties, the smart investors are quietly cash flowing big returns from old houses in the best zip codes. And I'm sure a lot of you out there have walked by older houses and thought, wow, that place has potential. And you know what? You're not wrong. But that potential comes with a price tag, and it's not just the purchase price. So in today's video, I'm going to walk you through exactly what it takes to turn an older home into a rental property that actually makes you money and doesn't drain your bank account. And what we're going to talk about are the acquisition strategies, what updates give you the biggest rent bump, and how to avoid getting crushed by those hidden costs. So if you're eyeing that 1970s ranch or grandma's 1940s bungalow, you're going to want to stick around. So grab a pen and paper and let's dive in. So the first thing let's talk about is buying an older home and the acquisition cost. Older homes usually have one thing going for them, and that can be price, as often you will find them for 10 to 30% less than the newer homes in the same area. And again, a lot of these homes may need some updates, but before you go, hey, that's a deal, just hold up, because here's what's the sneaky part. The prices might seem low, but that's because the seller may know that there's some other issues with the home, obviously. And when you're dealing with a home that's 40, 50, 60 plus years old, those issues aren't always cosmetic either. Things you got to think about on these older homes when you're looking at them are the foundation cracks. Are there any cracks when you walk around the house? Are there cracks inside? Is the house settling over the years and so forth? Does it have galvanized plumbing as well? And have you done your sewer scope to see if there's broken sewer lines and so forth, as a lot of these older homes have, because they have trees as well and they end up crushing the sewer lines? And also another thing is old electrical. Do they have the aluminum wiring? Are the electrical panel outdated? And another big thing, are the roofs in good condition, or is it one big storm away from having to file a claim on that roof? So these are some of the things that you will have to bake in as costs when you're running your numbers. And I always tell investors, budget for 15 to 20% of the purchase price in immediate repairs for homes, usually older than 1980. Also, double check your insurance, as some insurance carriers will charge way more, or they may outright deny coverage. And especially if that home has certain wiring or roof issues as well. Now, a quick story for you. A lot of the rentals I have are older homes. I buy these homes at a discount because of the work that they need. And I'll cover it more in this video, but those are the homes that if you have any ability on your own, or you have the right people, those are the home run properties to get a hold of because of the lower acquisition costs and the costs you can do to bring that home up to what the rental rates are. And speaking of repairs and maintenance, once you close, that's when the real fun starts. And I mean fun by repairs. Now, again, I bought flips where I thought, this just needs paint, boom, blow it out on the market. But that's not always correct on these older homes. And I can tell you from my experiences, those electrical panels are outdated. They may have a Federal Pacific panel or a Zencor panel, and there's a few others out there that you will have to change out. And again, the sewer line that's cast iron and it's collapsed. Again, there's tree roots that crush the line. And also the HVAC, if it's original to the house, then as much as I am a type of person that I think the older units seem to run better and so forth, they're just not as efficient. People like to replace those thinking that they're going to need replaced when they have tenants there. But again, if they're in great shape, just clean them up and service them. But you do have to account for the HVAC system into your numbers, because it's Murphy's Law. The minute you buy the place, the thing may blow out on you. So just factor that in. And especially if it's an original one to the house. And one thing I want to tell you when you're looking at these homes to buy, or any home to buy, get a sewer scope. I mean, I can't stress it enough, and I get my clients to do the same, but that sewer scope is a must if you don't do any other inspections on those old homes when you're looking to buy them, because you don't know what's going on underneath the soils and so forth. And you have to be careful with the companies that you choose. Make sure you always get one that only does sewer scopes and they're not entrenched with plumbers, excavators, and so forth. Because like anything, there's a lot of scams, and I've dealt with this many times helping my clients sell homes. So anyway, it is important to get that sewer scope, and also do a roof and foundation inspection if you're uncertain and you don't know. If that roof is shot, well, then get the seller to file a claim against it and see if you can start out with a new roof on the property. And also foundation, if you question anything at all, maybe the brick outside has some cracking going on, or maybe the doors or windows don't close like they should in the house and it just feels off kilter somehow, get that foundation looked at. And for some reason, if these inspections, because you want them, if it doesn't work on the other side, then it might be a sign that you need to maybe move on and find a different property, but you do not want to forego those items especially. And again, back to that HVAC system, if it's old, again, just if you want, replace it. If you have the right people that won't charge you an arm and a leg for it, or just budget for it. Again, if you clean them up and they're working, often you'll find they'll last quite a while if you just service them. But again, make sure you factor those into your numbers on your rental property as well. So again, these older homes, they can turn in to a rental money pit if you don't dig deep enough. And trust me, the tenants, they don't care if those walls are gray or beige, but they will leave if the air conditioning doesn't work. And if it's like it is out here in Colorado, if that air conditioning goes down, the tenants have the right to go to a hotel and so forth and charge you for that till that is repaired. So just make sure that you understand all the laws of your area and so forth, and make sure that everything is in great working condition when you go to rent, and don't just look at how cosmetically you made the place look. Now let's just get into the updates that will boost your rents. Now this is the good stuff, and this is where, you can actually increase the rents. But again, renters don't pay extra for any vintage charm. They pay for that comfort, convenience. Some like the curb appeal. And so here are the top updates that actually can help you charge more on your rents. And the first thing, just like with any home, the kitchens, you don't need to do a full remodel. Go get some matching appliances. Get some new cabinet hardware. You can even get modern light fixtures and do a subway tile backsplash if there isn't any backsplash. It's just going to bring a little extra pop to the kitchen, and it won't look like you're just some slumlord throwing people in just to collect rent. I mean, take pride in the property regardless of what your budget is. You just do not, again, want to be reflected as a slumlord, and it'll make a huge difference on your vacancies and also your return on your rent. Now, the next thing are the bathrooms. Of course, you got to clean it. Go reglaze the tubs if they look nasty. It's amazing how these kits will turn those tubs into looking pretty much new again. And again, you can go swap out vanities and light fixtures. I mean, you can go to Home Depot and buy those pre-made vanities under $400. And there's some great light fixtures on Amazon and so forth. And I'll put a link down below on some of the lights I use, but just those little things will be a great ROI or return on investment by just doing those things. A lot of the tenants are looking at energy efficiency as well, especially if they're paying the utilities. So if you go and add like a smart thermostat to your rental property, you can get these for a few $100, even under. If you go on Amazon, look around, I'll put a link down below as well. That's really a great feature on those older homes. You can always opt for insulation, as let's face it, if you get up in those attics of them older homes, the insulation is pretty thin. And there's also areas you'll find that there's really not much for insulation. And go around, do the weather stripping as well if you have to replace some of that. Just anything to make that home feel like it's going to be a little more energy efficient. And you can even upgrade your windows if you have to. Now, you don't need to go out and get Anderson windows and all that. There's some great companies out there that just have nice looking new vinyl windows. That's what I use and everything. And they won't break the bank. In fact, I do a lot of my projects well under $10,000. And by doing that, you not only attract better tenants, but you can justify those higher rents because you're saving them on the monthly utilities as well. And again, just your pride and ownership and so forth makes a whole lot of difference on what you charge for rent on those properties. Now, another big one is paint and flooring. And again, that's important on any home, and it's the best return on investment. And it can also be the best return for these older homes as rental properties, go out and get that durable LVP flooring or the luxury vinyl plank flooring. They do make great flooring now that you can actually scratch a key on and it will not scratch. You may pay a little more for it, but if you're just putting carpet in all the time, by the time you go and replace that over and over and over, the LVP option is a good option. And also, if your home has, which a lot of the older homes do, real wood floors underneath, you might just throw the carpet out and go and have somebody polish those floors up. You can get that done for $2 to $3 a square foot. Also, ditch those yellow walls. And again, that shag carpet, it'll just make a big difference by just doing some good neutral colors that are popular. And again, as far as carpet, if you do decide to do carpet, you don't need to go over the top on that either. You may want to spend just a few more bucks on the pad. It makes a difference as far as the durability of that carpet as well. But I have found that to be advantageous in my rentals, but really the luxury vinyl plank goes a long ways if, like I said, they don't have real wood flooring. Now, again, the lighting in the house, just get rid of them old boob lights and those fluorescent lights. They just look terrible and they make that old home look old and even older than it is. I mean, go get yourself some matte black or brushed nickel fixtures. And again, I'll put some links down below what I use in my projects. They're cheap and they just make a powerful statement, make that home look more inviting. And again, it really attracts good renters to those properties. And because the renters really love technology anymore, it seems like if your budget can do it, you can go get those keypad locks. You can do a Ring doorbell, or like I said, for that energy efficient, get a Nest thermostat in there. But again, it just seems to attract the better renters. And again, just makes a better return on investment to get those higher rents. At least I have found that with all the properties that I have. So these older homes, they are great opportunities if you know what you're getting yourself into. And for me, the great opportunities were you buy them low, you fix them up. You can do the BRRRR method or whatever, but you get the equity in them and you sit on those and you start cash flowing these properties. And if these properties are in good areas, like a lot of old homes are, with bigger lots, close to all the amenities and so forth that a lot of people like, not only are you paying the mortgage down and so forth, so you're getting rid of that, which will increase your cash flow, but you also are getting some good appreciation. So there's a win-win there by diving into these older homes. And the newer homes, if you buy those as rentals, your acquisition costs are higher. And I know a lot of people out there might say that you don't have to do as much to the newer homes. You know, you may not, but you got to factor in taxes if it's in metro tax districts, insurance, and HOA fees and all those things that actually could be a huge negative if you decide to invest in those newer homes. But at the end of the day, the whole key is you have to buy smart. You got to budget for those surprise repairs and those updates, but they actually will add value to those homes. And you don't need to blow your money on granite or crown molding. Just make it clean, comfortable, efficient, easy to maintain. And again, just don't look like a slumlord. Take pride of ownership of the property and it'll pay dividends so much more down the road. And if you do all that, you'll not only attract better tenants, you're going to boost those rents and you're going to keep that vacancy low. And I don't know about a lot of you, and give me some comments on this, but my rentals, my tenants, I have some long-term tenants because I don't try to get the maximum rents that I could get. If you have good paying tenants and you're cash flowing and everything is going smooth on those, sometimes when the rent or when the leases come up, sometimes it's good to just keep the rent as it is instead of trying to maximize that. But again, we all have risk tolerances, so you got to do what you got to do on that, but that's what I do. And if you want a personal checklist and updates that give you the best return on investment in these older homes, I'll put a link down below. It's totally free. You can use it before you buy an old home or your next one as a rental. And I hope this video helped. And if so, please share it with somebody. Also, hit that like button and subscribe. I'm a new channel and I'm just trying to build my channel. And anyway, I'd also like some comments on the biggest issues that you have all seen on older homes, buying these as rentals. And also, if you need a real estate professional out there in your area, my link's down below. I'd love to speak to you anytime. And now, stay tuned for these videos that are coming up next.